everyone, welcome back. Framer's latest update of 3D Transforms is truly a game changer. I mean, the possibilities, the things that you can do with this are crazy. I mean, you can explore a lot of things, but in this particular tutorial, I'm going to keep it easy and simple. While we get introduced to 3D transforms and how they work, we are going to try and do this flip card animation and add some depth to the elements to bring that 3D effect. So without further ado, let's just get started. So like you have already seen in the beginning of the video, we have a flip card animation where we have this box here. On flipping the card, this box opens up and then we reveal the gift that is, 20% off on pizza. So that's why I have these three images in here. These are PNGs. I'm going to use this and create the 3D flip card animation here. And the reason we are creating this card from scratch is because you have to keep certain things in mind. You have to keep the front and the back face on the same frame. As we proceed, you will know why. So without further ado, let's just get started. So here I have made a frame using Command F and I'm given a random blue color. I'm going to add some corner radius here. Let's just make it 24. Just resizing the card a little bit more just to ensure it's big enough to accommodate all the content. And now let's just drag and drop the gift inside the frame, just like this in the center. Next, we are going to add the text here. In this case, we have a surprise for you, because when you flip the card, the box is going to open and it reveals the surprise. So that's the idea. So let's just give it some nice size and just change the width to fixed so we can adjust the width of the box here. Next, we are quickly going to adjust all the text properties here so we get our desired composition. We'll move the text and the gift just to ensure everything is how we are imagining it to be. And next, we are going to create a button here. So I'm creating another frame and giving it a nice rounded corner. And we can add some text inside this. I'm just writing claim now. And I'm just resizing the content in here, and let's just add an arrow. So I'm going to go to icons and feather icons. Here I'm going to go insert the arrow and I'm going to place it right next to the claim now text. Resize it and ensure it's center aligned. Now I'm going to select both the text and the icon and I'm going to create a stack. Ensure it's aligned to the center, and width is set to fit, whereas the height is also set to fit content. And we're going to add some padding here. So I'm going to make the top padding to be 20, right padding to be 32, bottom padding to be 20 again, and left padding to be 32. So we don't need the frame now because we created a stack, so let's just get rid of that. Let's just add some color to the stack itself, the white color. And we're going to, the padding looks slightly extra here, so I'm going to get rid of the extra padding, excess padding on the top and the bottom. This looks better. So now I have the button ready. Let's just ensure it's aligned to the center, and let's just rename the stack to button. We're going to select the frame and adjust the color here. I'm going to add a linear gradient in the shade of purple. Something like this maybe. You can just keep adjusting in the way you like. And I'm going to change the color of the button as well. Let's just keep the button purple only by picking up color from the card itself. And also I'm going to add some border in here and changing the width to maybe 3 because 4 looks a little too heavy, and changing the color of the icon as well and making all of this bright white. That's basically completely white. Just final adjustments here and there and the card is all set. So this is the front face of the card. Let's just name this frame as front, and I'm going to create another frame in here. I'm going to add another frame and I'm going to call it gift card faces. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the front frame and I'm going to turn off the visibility, and I'm going to duplicate this frame and I'm going to turn on the visibility. So basically inside the gift card faces frame, we have two fronts now. One of them is actually the back. So we're going to get rid of the elements in the second front frame that we just duplicated. I'm going to get rid of the elements in here and place the back face elements here. And it's important that we now rename this, so just to avoid the confusion. So I'm going to rename this layer to back. Now it's time for us to add the final text in here. I'm going to add 20% off on your favorite pizza. And let's just quickly do that.
Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on.
So now since the back face is ready, we're going to turn on the visibility for the front facing card. And now we have our card ready. We have the front and the back ready for the gift card faces. So this is done. Let's just quickly give a random color, a dark purple color to the desktop here as well. Just selecting some random color here. But before we hop on to animating the card now, there's one more thing I want to add here. So I'm going to turn off the visibility for the front card. I want to add some sparkling elements to this gift card. Like when you flip the card, you can see some golden elements flying. So let's switch to Framer.supply, where you'll find a bunch of Framer components here. And I'm going to copy the particles from here, and I'm going to paste it right inside the frame. So we're going to quickly resize it and just adjust the properties of the particles. If you want to learn about how you can use these particles in various places, such as moving background gradients and a lot of other fun stuff, you can check out this tutorial we had on these particles, the link for which you'll find it in the description box. For now, let's just quickly adjust these. So now when we play, this is how it looks. When I want the particles to come from behind the pizza, so let's just go back and change the position of the particles by pushing the layer down. And now when you play it, you'll see how it's coming from behind the pizza. So this looks nice. Now comes the most awaited part. We're going to start animating the card now. But before, we need to add another frame here. Now why it's important to add this another frame is because you'll find out in a bit. But let's just name it card component. And I'm going to create a component here. So Command-Shift-K here. And let's just create a component. And now you'll see that there is gift card faces here. But variant 1 does not have transform option. So you'll have to go here to gift card faces to add the transform feature. That's the reason why we added another frame on top of gift card faces, so that we get the option to sort of animate the cards, the primary frame here. Now we're going to go to our parent frame here, which is our gift card faces. And here I'm going to add the first transform, 3D transform, which is going to be rotate. So I'm going to go to rotate and turn the toggle to 3D. And here I'm going to change the y-axis to ensure there's this 3D rotation. However, you'll see that it is flipping the card, but that 3D perspective is missing. So what we're going to do here is to add that perspective, we'll have to go to add and then add the option perspective here. And now you'll see there's this vanishing point, and it gives like a proper 3D feel. You can change the value of the y-axis again. You can also change the value of the perspective and see how it works. Let's just keep it 1200 for now. So the card here is flipped, but we still don't see the back face of the card. So let's just fix that. Let's go to front and go to transforms again. And here we are going to select back face and make it hidden. But there's no change here. That's because we'll have to go to gift card faces. That's the parent frame here. And turn on the option for Preserve 3D. Now what Preserve 3D really does is it ensures that the front and the back faces are in the same 3D space as your parent card. So we have to make sure that whenever we add any transform features to our, child elements, the parent element should have Preserve 3D turned on in order for the child elements to behave in the same manner as the parent element. So now you see, as soon as we turned on the Preserve 3D, we can see the backside of the card, but it is flipped the opposite side. So we'll have to go back to our back frame, and we'll have to add the rotation here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to transforms, change it to 3D, and change the value of the y-axis. So once that is done, you'll have your elements rightly placed in the right direction. So let's just go back to gift card faces and rotate the card again. And now in the front we have the front face and in the back we have the back face as it should be. So this is cool. This is done now. It's time for us to add the depth in the elements, which will make it look really 3D. So this is the flip card thingy we have done. Now let's just add the depth to the elements. So I'm going to go back to my front facing frame, and I'm going to select the gift here because that is what I want to elevate here. So let's go to transform while that is selected and select depth here and add some depth. But again, we can't see it. Have you guessed why? Why can't we see that happening? Because we have to go to the parent layer again. In this case, it's the front card, and turn on Preserve 3D. So now when we make changes to the elements inside that frame, we'll be able to see it. So we're going to adjust the depth in here. I'm going to keep it somewhere around maybe 140. Next, I'm going to select the button and again go to transforms here and add depth. I want it slightly behind the gift, so I'm going to keep it at 100 maybe, since the gift is at 140. And similarly for the text as well. Let's go to transform that depth and set it to 100 as well. So yeah, this is cool. This looks nice. Let's just quickly, turn this around. It looks good. It looks nice in 3D. So we'll just quickly turn that around now and go to our back frame. Now in here, we're going to select the elements again. Let's just show all the layers in here. So I'm going to start with the pizza frame here. So let's just add the depth here to be like around maybe 100. Next, I'm going to select the particles and go to transforms all the way up, and here again we'll add some depth here. I want the particles to be really floating, and but I still want it behind the pizza, so I'm going to keep it at 80 depth. And let's just add the depth to the gift box. So this is going to be 140 again. Now when you select the gift card faces and play around with the y-axis, you'll see how your elements are floating, and it looks pretty cool. It gives a very nice 3D effect. Now we'll come back to our default state of front-facing card, and we're going to create another variant. The position of the elements seems slightly off here, so we're going to quickly adjust that. And let's just go to variant 2 here. Let's just select gift card faces and change the angle here, change the rotation here to 180 degree on the y-axis, so we see the back side of the card. Now it's time to add the interaction, so I'm going to select variant 1. Attach it to variant 2, and on the interaction I want here is tap. So on tap will change to variant 2, and variant 2 will change to variant 1 on tap. Now for convenience, let's just change the names here as well. So variant 1 is our front and variant 2 is our back side. So that's what we'll do here now. And now when we play it and tap on it, we'll see how nice this is. That's pretty cool. But it seems to be moving a little too fast. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to the transition effect, and we'll change the stiffness to 250 instead of 500. So now when you play it, you'll see how nicely you can look at all the 3D elements while it's flipping. Let's just go back to home and play it on the desktop. Well, it does seem very cool, and it's crazy how you don't have to write a single line of code to do all of this. Framer is getting crazier day by day with all its latest updates. So yeah, that's it. That's all for this tutorial. I hope you found this helpful and you learned something new today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.